Good evening. This is Melissa Thomas of Florida National News coming to you with the evening news rundown for your Thursday, October 1st. Welcome to the month of October. The year is flying, but thank you as always for tuning in. And as always, we'd like to invite anyone who is looking to advertise or to even sponsor one of our segments. You can shoot us an email at ads@floridanationalnews.com to find out more. And as always, we like to get you guys started with the latest COVID-19 reports globally here in the United States and in the state of Florida. And as I mentioned last week, if you guys have anyone close to you or you want to share a story of someone who has either survived COVID-19 or someone that you have unfortunately lost due to the virus and want to acknowledge them, just shoot us a comment below and let us know, and we'll gladly acknowledge them during this particular COVID-19 update that we do every day during the show. But jumping into the world reports for COVID-19, according to the World Health Organization, we're seeing over 33.8 million confirmed cases and well over 1.01 million confirmed deaths. So basically 1,010,000 confirmed deaths here in the United States. The Johns Hopkins University is reporting over 7.25 million confirmed cases and over 207,000 confirmed deaths. In the state of Florida, the Department of Health is confirming over 709,000 cases with over 14,500 confirmed deaths. Jumping into our world story, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is pleading with his people, particularly the people of Britain, to comply with rules that are imposed to tackle a rapidly accelerating second wave of the coronavirus outbreak, cautioning that otherwise a tougher lockdown could follow. And there has been a lot of blowback between the citizens and even his fellow lords in terms of the lockdowns that have previously occurred, given the damage to the economy. The new cases of COVID-19 there are rising by more than 7,000 per day. And though Johnson is facing growing opposition to lockdown measures, those measures have wrought some of the worst economic damage to the nation in at least a century. Now, according to England's chief medical officer, Chris Whitty, Britain, which has the worst official COVID-19 death toll in all of Europe, is facing a rapid acceleration of outbreaks across the country. Chief scientific advisor Patrick Vallance said the outbreak was not yet under control. Now, swaths of the UK and millions of citizens are subject to local restrictions brought in to try to slow that second wave of COVID-19 infections. Britain has reported more than 42,000 deaths from the virus, which is currently the world's fifth largest death toll in total. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated on that. Jumping here to the United States, remember that House bill that we were talking about? The House Democrats had proposed the $2.2 trillion bill. Well, that is now on ice. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi were not able to quite reach an agreement on that particular proposal after their more than 90-minute meeting on Wednesday, but the pair will continue discussions as they try to craft that elusive fifth relief package that could pass both chambers of Congress. Now, House Democrats initially aimed to pass that rescue legislation Wednesday night, but they called off the vote until at least today to allow more time for bipartisan talks. Now, approving this bill would largely be a symbolic action since Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has already opposed it. Now, House Speaker Pelosi said she and Mnuchin had, quote, an extensive conversation and, quote, found areas where we are seeking further clarification. Now, entering the talks, Treasury Secretary Mnuchin said the White House and Democrats had reached common ground on issues including direct payments, small business loans, and airline aid. The reports indicate they still need to resolve disputes over state and local government aid and liability protections for businesses, among other topics. Now, Pelosi and Mnuchin met in person for the first time since last month, raising the hopes of Congress approving more aid to boost the U.S. economy and healthcare system before the November 3rd election. Both officials did sound optimistic, so that is good. They sounded a little more optimistic about the prospect of a deal, earlier yesterday as Mnuchin prepared to offer a roughly $1.5 trillion package to counter the Democrats' proposal. Now, speaking to reporters as he left the Capitol, he said, the sides, quote, made a lot of progress over the last few days. So that's good. It seems like we'll be moving a little bit closer to a relief package. We'll continue to keep you guys updated on that. Now, jumping here to the state of Florida, some unfortunate news for Florida State University students. Spring break 2021 is canceled, which can be kind of traumatizing for college students because that is a staple. They usually look forward to spring break, but to prevent further virus spread, they have chosen to cancel spring break in 2021, particularly given the current coronavirus spikes that are happening on the campus. In a message to the students, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, Sally McCrory, announced changes to the school's calendar. She said in the announcement, quote, "The university continues its efforts to mitigate the spread of COVID-19, and we believe these adjustments will reduce the potential for members of the campus community to return to Tallahassee with the virus after traveling during spring break. Thank you for your patience and flexibility as we work together to provide a healthier and safer environment for the entire campus community." Now, given the changes to the calendar, here are the updates. The spring semester will still begin January 6, 2021. However, the first 3 days of classes will be taught remotely, according to McCrory, and the semester will end April 23rd, which is a week earlier than originally planned. Now, the announcement comes just days after local police said on Sunday they broke up a party at an off-campus student apartment complex that involved about 700 vehicles and more than 1,000 attendees. Now, Florida State University reported that more than 1,400 students and 26 employees have tested positive for COVID-19 through September 18th. And the university updates its coronavirus numbers weekly. Again, we here at Florida National News continue to exhort you to remain careful, wash your hands, wash them, glove them, sanitize them, whatever you have to do. Make sure you wear your mask and practice safe social distancing, right? In the meantime, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we're going to come back with some more stories for you. Stay tuned.
At Duke Energy, we deliver electricity and so much more, like free home energy assessments, rebates for energy-saving improvements, payment options to help you better manage your budget, and even bill credits for helping the community use less energy. So no matter what you're doing, we can help you make better energy choices every day. It's just another way we bring power to your life. How much can you save?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Evening News Rundown. In our next U.S. story, the Commission on Presidential Debates has announced that it will be making changes to its debate format to, quote, ensure a more orderly discussion. They announced Wednesday that they would be making changes to that format to the remaining presidential debates after that first debate between Democratic nominee Joe Biden, of course, and President Donald Trump devolved into what is being reported as a chaotic disaster. Chaos was the common term used among different news reports and, quite frankly, viewer opinions of the debate on Tuesday. And we still welcome your opinions as well. Leave your thoughts in the comments below of how you thought the Tuesday night debate went. But in their statement, they said, quote, "The Commission on Presidential Debates sponsors televised debates for the benefit of the American electorate. Last night's debate made clear that additional structure should be added to the format for the remaining debates to ensure a more orderly discussion of the issues." Now, the CPD did not specify what changes were being considered or would be adopted, but said it would be, quote, "carefully considering the changes that it will adopt and will announce those measures shortly." The CPD did say it was, quote, "grateful to Chris Wallace for the professionalism and skill he brought to last night's debate," meaning Tuesday's debate, of course, and said that it intends to ensure that additional tools to maintain order are in place for the remaining debates. Now, former Vice President Joe Biden has expressed support for any changes that are forthcoming, whereas opposingly, President Trump believes that the current layout should be maintained for the next debate. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated on that. Jumping here to the state of Florida, Miami-Dade schools are set to open or to resume in-person learning as of October 5th in compliance with the state. They voted shortly after 7 p.m. on Tuesday after, this is their first in-person meeting of the school year, and they decided to go ahead and vote to reopen in-person classes on October 5th. The other option that they had to vote on was to stick to the plan that they had recently approved or follow the state. Now, the staggered reopening for physical schools will run through October 9th. In a recent letter, Florida Education Commissioner Robert Corcoran told the Miami-Dade School Board their recent vote to start in-person learning by October 14th contradicts the plan they submitted, which was ultimately approved by the state to reopen those physical classrooms by October 5th. Now, the unions were not happy about that particular decision. Following Tuesday's decision by the school board, the Miami-Dade Teachers Union released a statement that reads in part, we are appalled that our leadership would put politics over public safety, and we are sad because tonight we saw a unanimous vote that discarded everything they said they stood for last week. Today, we know that each student, educator, and employee has a price tag on their life. Some very strong words. We'll continue to keep you guys updated. In the meantime, we're going to take another quick commercial break and come back with your business and sports stories. So stay tuned.
I'm not picking it up. You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. 'Cause my hand is clean. Oh yeah, I'm Charmin clean. That's how I know they're clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong is woven like a washcloth and just cleans better.
Yeah, I'm Charmin clean.
The kid does have a
That's
point.
My hand is clean.
Enjoy the go with Charmin. And for an extra clean finish, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
Welcome back to the Evening News Rundown. In our business story, the CDC extends the cruise ban, at least in U.S. ports, all the way through October. Now, this is actually after an overturning of their further extension that they wanted to do, but Vice President Mike Pence, who is the head of the coronavirus task force, he overruled their further extension and decided to cut it off at October 31st. They wanted to make sure to keep the cruise lines kind of in order in terms of curbing the spread of COVID-19, because they originally, back in the day, they issued a no-sail order for cruise ships in U.S. waters on March 14th. You guys heard us report that for you after hundreds of coronavirus infections and several COVID-19 deaths were reported on board ships with outbreaks across the world. So they previously said that, quote, cruise ship travel exacerbates the global spread of COVID-19, in justifying their order. Between March 1st and September 29th, at least 3,689 probable cases of COVID-19 were reported on cruise ships in U.S. waters, according to the CDC. And they said at least 41 COVID-19 deaths have occurred on those cruise ships, adding that these numbers are likely incomplete and an underestimate. Now, CDC Director Robert Redfield had pushed that order, that extension that they wanted, was all the way out to February 2021. But Vice President Mike Pence overruled that and cut it off at October 31st, which coincides with the voluntary suspension announced by the trade group, the Cruise Lines International Association. We had reported that for you guys several months ago as well. Now, executives of the cruise companies and CLIA are planning a meeting at the White House tomorrow to discuss more. We'll continue to keep you updated on that. In more sports news, particularly the NFL, remember we mentioned the Tennessee Titans, 8 of their folks had tested positive for COVID-19. So as a result, the Titans versus Steelers game has been postponed as well. You guys heard us talk yesterday about a game that was coming up that would be postponed against the Vikings. They also decided to postpone that. So the NFL is reporting that particular, the game could be rescheduled to Monday or Tuesday. Now, as what's going on with the Steelers, their next move is going to be of significant interest to Philadelphia Eagles fans, because after the Eagles' upcoming Sunday night battle in San Francisco, they're slated to travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers on October 11th. Now, to break down the 8 folks at Tennessee who contracted COVID-19, it was 5 personnel and 3 players that tested positive. And defense captain and lineman Daquan Jones and long snapper Bo Brinkley have been placed on the reserve/COVID-19 list. So we'll continue to keep you guys updated on that. And more specifically, our lovely Casey Hudson with the FNN Sports Take. Now we're going to take our final commercial break and come back with the Entertainment 4 for 4 with the lovely Janicia Stoudemire out of Los Angeles. So stay tuned.
There's more than one way to enjoy a Moreno Bakery custom cake. You could smash it, swipe it, love it, cut it, devour it. Moreno Bakery, for every slice of life.
All right, guys, welcome back. It is Thursday, so it is time for our Entertainment 4 for 4 with the lovely Jamesia Stoudemire out of Los Angeles. So let's bring her on in. Good afternoon, Jamesia. How's it going?
Good afternoon, guys. How is it going? It's going good out here in Los Angeles. It is definitely a hot day out here.
I can imagine.
But alrighty, let's get everyone started. I know you guys can't wait to hear these 4 amazing topics for your Entertainment 4 for 4, featuring myself, Jamesia Stoudemire, all the way from Los Angeles, California. So, number 1. Chrissy Teigen and John Legend grieved the miscarriage of their son. So, announced late on Wednesday night, Chrissy Teigen took to Instagram and announced that she had officially lost her son. In this picture right here, provided by the Jasmine brand, you can see her husband and her, John Legend, and her, Chrissy Teigen, and actually their son, which they named Jack in this photo, just grieving, and he's the bundle in her arms, but just grieving over their loss. What she actually is a kind of a quote. She cannot get the bleeding, and if you go to her actual post by Chrissy Teigen, she talks about, they couldn't get the bleeding to stop. Despite the bags and bags of blood transfusion, it just wasn't enough. And this Jack actually would have been their 3rd child between Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. But what also has kind of stemmed from the situation, which my respects just go out to that family, because I know just losing something like that is a tremendous process to go through. But then just for social media to have the peanut gallery of social media, to have the audacity to tell them how they can grieve, is just even kind of worse. So, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, is what I was taught. So, world, let them grieve how they choose to grieve. And they wanted to announce it to the world because honestly, guys, you would have been bugging them if they would have said nothing. So, our respects go out from Florida National News, as well as myself, to Chrissy Teigen and John Legend for their recent loss of their son. Going on to number 2. All right, Rihanna wants to cheer up the world with a fashion show. As many of you may have noticed via social media, Miss Rihanna has been partnering up with some different influencers as they show off her new Savage Fenty lingerie line. So it was kind of a stop and go for a little while, but she is definitely going to move full force ahead with her virtual show that's coming up here very soon. Actually, the line is going to launch on Amazon this Friday. If I'm let me double check, but I believe this Friday it goes on Amazon, so you can actually shop the whole new 2020 line. And this is actually the 2nd year of Savage Fenty lingerie. And this show, last year they had Christian part of the show, which took it to a whole new level. But this year she has some celebrity guests of Lizzo, Travis Scott, Rosaline, and Rihanna just said in a interview recently that she just wants to give the world a little bit of hope, a little bit of fun, and if she can make them smile, then she did her job. So congratulations, Rihanna, on that 2nd fashion line, and I think she may be coming out with some new music possibly. So let's all stay tuned for that. Going on to number 3. Gloria Steinem biopic The Glorias released on Amazon Prime this past week. In this picture here, you can see the lady that's playing Gloria, as well as Janelle Monáe, who in this film plays Dorothy Pittman Hughes. But this film is based on Miss Steinman's memoir, My Life on the Road. And it's directed by Julia Taymor. And you can actually watch this movie now on Amazon Prime, and it is rated R. But it definitely touches base on some of the amazing things that Gloria Steinem has done, from going undercover as a Playboy bunny to actually fighting for women's rights. So this woman is a living legend and still is with us. Amen. But make sure you guys take a moment and just learn about this amazing woman who epitome has not even stopped. She keeps getting bigger and bigger every time she does something. All right, guys, and our amazing number 4, Netflix offers the first look into Ma Rainey's what's the actual name? Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, featuring the late and the great Chadwick Boseman. This is actually his last film that he is doing, or that he was a part of before passing away. As you see right here, Chadwick Boseman and Miss Beautiful Viola Davis, who is also featured in this film as Ma Rainey. this is actually the last film that, oh, yay, we have some pictures. So this was what actually Netflix posted. And if you go to their Twitter or their Instagram, you can click and get a closer up look at some of these amazing, beautiful images. And what this, so just to give you like the background story. So Ma Rainey, Black Bottom, actually takes, it's a showcases racial tension in Chicago back in the 1927. So this is actually an August Wilson play that was established in 1982. And so it's going to be actually premieres December 18th on Netflix. And it was actually produced by the great and amazing Denzel Washington. And you can definitely go on. I got this actual article from the Hollywood Reporter, but you can definitely hear some of the amazing things that everyone had to say about Chadwick Boseman, who is many know as was the lead in Black Panther, the King of Wakanda, and who passed away at the age of 48 from colon cancer. But just an amazing actor, and I cannot wait to see this premiere. I am a big fan of the 1920s era and just those amazing outfits. And I know Denzel, after doing Fences, which was also an August Wilson play, so, you know, that's definitely his forte. And Fences was an amazing movie with Denzel Washington and Viola Davis. So it can only get better from here with an amazing actor like Chadwick Boseman. All right, guys. Again, thank you for watching Entertainment 444 on Florida National News Evening Rundown. My name is Jamesia Stedemeyer, and you guys can follow me at THE_ENT_MOGUL on Instagram. Melissa, back over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, as always, Jamesia. Appreciate you. Always a pleasure to have you.
Guys, see you next week.
Take care. All right, guys, that does it here for us at the Evening News Rundown. If you haven't yet, be sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff. You'll find us at Florida National News at YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, of course. And on YouTube, be sure to also click the little bell icon to make sure you get all the notifications for all of our shows. And as a brief reminder, if you or someone you know is interested in advertising, you can shoot us an email at ads@FloridaNationalNews.com to find out more. But that does it for us at the Evening News Rundown. Have a great rest of your Thursday evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.